Audible Studios presents The Way You Do Anything is the Way You Do Everything. The Why of Why Your Business Isn't Making More Money. Written by Suzanne Evans. Performed by Tamara Marston. Introduction. When my mom suffered a significant stroke a few years ago, I hastily made the 3-hour trip to be with her. The employees at the local hospital were kind and helpful, but also wildly disorganized and reactionary. My mother lay uncomfortably, without decent sheets or a warm enough blanket, for a day and a half while the hospital searched for a bed. After 36 hours without a wink of sleep, she finally got one in the intensive care unit, or ICU. Once she was settled in, it felt as if 100 questions a minute were flying at me. This wasn't easy. I was getting advice and recommendations from 6 different doctors, sandwiched between multiple procedures. It was an incredibly trying time. I kept trying to pull all the pieces together in the hopes of making the right decisions for Mom. I was focused on saving her life and getting her well. Something felt off, though. I thought that if I headed home to get a couple hours of sleep, I might figure out what it was. As I laid my head on the pillow, I thought to myself, the way you do anything is the way you do everything. That's when it hit me. If the people at this hospital aren't competent enough to get my mother a blanket, I certainly didn't want them providing critical care to her. The way they achieved, or in this case, failed to achieve, this one simple task was the way they'd handle all others, and that didn't instill a great deal of confidence in me. I jumped out of bed and immediately began making phone calls. I knew I needed to transfer my mother to another hospital, Duke Medical Center. In about 8 hours, we were in an ambulance en route to Durham, North Carolina. When we arrived, a patient family director greeted us and guided us to the family area, where he proceeded to inform us of the amenities for families of patients in the ICU. After only 10 minutes, I already felt better. The staff's efficiency and calm demeanor were amazing. After my mom was admitted, when I was allowed to see her, I bent down, kissed her, and asked her if she needed anything. She replied, "I am still cold." I saw a slender, quick-moving gentleman float around me to ask, did she say she was cold? It was Nick, her private nurse for the evening. Before I even knew what had happened, he turned on his heel, went around the corner, and returned with a blanket. And he hadn't just grabbed it from a closet in the hall. This blanket had just come from a warming bin. He opened...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?